Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter.
And my name is Krisha.
While Bitcoin breaks down. So, Krisha, Pattern Queen, is this a live breakdown or is this a fake out? Please enlighten us, please educate us. That's what we're all here for. Education.
They already have my input. Okay, I've been doing the daily videos now, past 3 days. So you guys actually are probably, yearning for Sean's TA on this.
I have nothing to say about Bitcoin. I've been talking about this thing breaking down for a while and it just kept going up and up and up. But hey, we have been drawing out this wedge, right? Basically talking about how it's been a distribution / consolidation towards the upside. And what was the biggest clue, in your opinion, towards this finally coming down? Not to put you on the spot, I'm just wondering whether you had a clue or were you like playing it off?
No, I was just kind of playing it off of price action. But what was your clue? The fact that you were like pretty steadfast with your short position. Now you were probably looking at something that, for me, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow because of, price is being weird here, okay? Plus, on top of that, we had all the Fed stimulus. There's a lot of money now suddenly in the economy, a lot of money that's been put directly into people's bank accounts, right? So I was just like, I don't know what to do, man.
Okay.
So what were you looking at?
Firstly, I have to correct you on one point over there. I wasn't steadfast with my short position at all. I actually got, I wouldn't say shook out, but I got out of my position on that daily close. It gave me a really, really good exit, so I wasn't too worried about that. Okay. Then I got into another short position that again, I didn't get shook out of, but I did take profits initially and let the rest ride. So I am still short, but it's not a big position at all.
Okay. But no, you are still, you have a position open though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. But to be honest, it's nowhere as close to as big as the position I took over there, right? Initially, okay. Now, I wasn't feeling good about going long over there. That's the key. That's the key, and that was my hint. The fact that I wasn't feeling good about going long, and we had broken some major levels.
Yeah.
We had broken some major levels, right?
Yes.
We broke the daily 21 EMA, the 2-day 21 EMA, the daily Kijun.
Yeah.
Now, what was worrying me was the fact that we weren't shooting up to 7,700. At the very least, we should have been making that move to 7,700. Throughout the week, in the Mango Grove community as well. By the way, if you guys haven't joined yet, join the Mango Grove community. It's completely free. Link should be down below. We were talking about, hey, why is 7.7K lined up with a lot? Yeah. I believe the 21 EMA on the weekly as well it lines up at 7.7K. If not 7.7K, 8,000 was the next level above that, right? So we weren't making that up thrust after breaking a major level. And these were all major levels. That 6.9K region was important. So one of two things was happening. Either my read was completely wrong on the levels, or two, this was looking more like a bait or weakness in continuation, and it started looking more and more like distribution. Even in the seed program, we were talking about, hey, is this distribution over here? Is this accumulation? And I'd refused to really entertain those ideas because you never really know, looking at, people look at wick-off distribution and start looking at the wicks and this is that is this. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to complicate things. What I was looking at was, hey, we aren't seeing continuation from this major level over here. We aren't seeing that upthrust after this. Why are we not seeing that, right? Could this be a way to lure in range traders and even trend traders into getting into a position so that then you can distribute into strength? And I wouldn't usually go there, but with Bitcoin, it has happened way too many times. Way too many times. I've been victim of it. Okay, I'm not saying this because, hey guys, I'm smarter than the market, blah, blah, blah. No, I've been victim to a move like this where, hey, we've broken major levels, we've done this, we've done that, we've done this. Okay, I'm getting into position. Or we've stayed in position, right? We showed you guys an example the last time we did a duo video on the 3K consolidation. Broke 4K, broke that major level, close a daily, right? Like, this is good, we're going to stay in position. What happens right after breakdown? Now, I'm not saying we're just going to go straight down from here, but it does look awfully similar to what we did when we went up to the 10K region, right? Let's, if TradingView decides to load, Come on.
It's taking its own sweet time today. But you know what? Let me ask you a question about, what was there any level, was there any EMA, anything on the chart that was tipping you off that said that, you know what, I think I'm going to stay in the rest of my short, and I think I'm going to hold it because you had an inkling that this was coming down? Was there something that was kind of guiding it for you?
Yeah, just swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, right? Each time. Okay, so I posted this too on the Mangrove, by the way, guys. Essentially, the trade setup, and this is an indication of how I wasn't feeling too good about the position, even though it's going my way. I wasn't feeling too good about it because I took profits very, very quickly on the first portion of the trade and then let the rest ride. And the trade setup was very simple. As long as we're not closing 4 hour candles above 7,404, or we don't take out these highs over here around 7,485, right? What is the trend? Essentially making higher highs and higher lows, right?
Yeah.
Were we doing that through this period? No, we weren't making high highs. Now, the reason bears get a little bit uncertain around these areas, and by the same regard the bulls get a little bit more confident, is when you start seeing these dips get picked up. And again, guys, this is something I've been a victim of in the past, where I find a reason to stay in my trade. All right, and I think we talked about this in the last video, I'm not sure, but you see these kind of wicks down and then price get picked up. You see no, I didn't talk about this in the last video. We were talking about this in today's gaming session.
By the way, guys, the guys in the seed chat group, you guys have started a gaming session
on the weekends just to de-stress and play some games and together, and de-stress from the trades.
All I can
but also talk about the charts at the end of it all, because hey, it's fun to shoot some charts.
Pretty neat.
But what I was telling them was, I've made this mistake in the past before where it begins to look weak, but then I start seeing these drops get picked up, right?
Yeah.
You dip into support and gets picked up, and I stay in the trade telling myself, you know what, this is looking strong. But again, from my past emotions, I'm pulling out my past emotions, my past weaknesses, my past mistakes rather, and I'm using them to my advantage now, right? So guys, even if you are making mistakes, don't ever think that you are a bad trader or any of that. It's just the process. You go through all of that. Where the market lures you into bad trades, but then you just go on, just keep at it, because no one starts off being a good trader. Anyone telling you that they've always been good at this, they're lying to you. These markets will humble you, and the only way to become a good trader is being humbled, and the only way to get humbled is by getting wrecked and taking losses or giving back a lot of profits because you missed something that was obvious in hindsight.
That's
so
right.
now I'm seeing this, right? I recognize that, hey, these things are getting picked up, yes, but we're not making
we're not making a higher high.
None of these wicks got taken out. At the very least, you would say that, hey, you place your stop over here. Can these wicks get taken out at the very least? Can you draw on some liquidity over here? No, the sellers were getting aggressive. They weren't waiting. Every candle close, every wick was an opportunity. So you could base your trades off by saying, hey, we have a new wick here. Again, this is a technique I teach in the C program. We have this wick here. Mark out the wick, mark out the candle close, and that's your next opportunity, right, to take a short against, right? So you mark out this wick, mark out this candle close, and boom, right there. This looked really strong, right? And the old me would have been like, okay, this is looking really strong, I'm going to stay in my long trade. But look at where we got rejected off.
Yeah.
Right?
So what are your thoughts on think about it, guys, like this entire time that Bitcoin has been trudging up, albeit like it's not, you don't usually see this kind of price action when Bitcoin is looking for a reversal. Okay, nothing this intense at least. But what are your thoughts on, we took back a lot of crazy levels. We took back a lot of major levels. Even today, I was actually waiting on that 4-day 200 simple moving average. I want to see how price closed relative to the 4-day simple. And I think
we didn't take it out. No, it wasn't convincing. It was the same thing we talked about. I've been saying this to you guys. It needs to be a convincing close or you're going to get drawn into a bad trade. And again, this is one of the mango secrets over here.
Let's go and pull that up just to show them that sorry.
It's I don't know, TradingView is going to let you do anything today.
Oh my word.
Okay, so it's one of the mango secrets, right? The 4-day time frame. If you guys go ahead and turn on the 4-day, and again, all we had to do was wait for the 4-day, right? The 200 moving average, the Kijun right over there, and we've taken long trades off it. That's loading now. This is the 4 hour.
Wow, trading you.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so now you can turn on the Ichimoku B, the B template. No, A, just do A. A should be good. So we've taken trades off this right over here, right? We took our long trades right off this. We talked about this, I think, last week, where all we have to do, to be honest, if you want to be really, really patient, just wait for the same trade. Wait for the same trade. Wait for the 4-day to close over the 4-day 200 moving average, and you may get a retest and continuation, right? Over here, if you hide our horizontals, you're going to see that this looks like a rejection, at least for now,
Yeah.
right? So just patience will pay off in the end. You don't need to be chasing the charts.
Yeah, it was not an obvious one. Like this was too damn close, right? Like it barely made it. It barely made it. Not just that, look at the amount of overhead resistance we had. We had the 4-day Kijun and also the 4-day 21 EMA, right? So there was too much there, and but yeah, just look at that. Like we just about made it. You know, it's like a finger right past the line. But yeah, so this was what was going on. This is what I was looking out for. Back to the 4-hour time frame.
So going back to what we were talking about in terms of clues. Okay, there were two other clues. One, the traditional markets rallying yesterday and Bitcoin just staying there, right? Suddenly we lost that correlation, if you want to call it, but we lost the strength that Bitcoin was showing while traditional markets were going up too. And this has happened in the past, right, where we've seen traditional markets make that one leg up and then Bitcoin just stay there and then Bitcoin take a leg down and then traditional markets follow too. Now, I'm not saying we're going to crash because of that or any of that. I'm not saying that, but that was another clue where Bitcoin wasn't seeing the same momentum up. Perhaps again, is this an opportunity to distribute to people who want to get into trades, right? Because these are the late longers who are seeing a pattern emerge and they're like, hey, every time traditional markets go up, Bitcoin's actually going to go up too. I'm going to take a long. Okay, cool, good. Take this long. Let me sell into you, right? Let me sell into you. Because if you think like, if you think like the big macro players and you turn on the weekly chart, this is a key area that they are going to want to hedge their positions.
Yeah.
Turn on the weekly, actually. You're going to see that we are likely getting rejected off the Tenkan again. I've not looked, there you go. I've not even looked at it, but it's stuck in my head right now, right? There was a chance we get up to the 21 EMA and 10 SMA, but we're seeing a rejection.
I feel like it's like they're waiting for that narrative to build up, right?
Yes.
People get drawn in and then play against it. But it's funny how you mentioned the correlation between, CMEs and Bitcoin, because you're right. Actually, a lot of people were talking about that. Like we've been getting a lot of questions over correlations between Bitcoin and not just S&P. Bitcoin and S&P. So this was a freaking crazy play. But now, what are you expecting from Bitcoin? Where do you think it's going to come down to?
This is one of the reasons why I didn't go crazy with this position over here, like the trade I took, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not looking to even FOMO into a position just yet. I don't want to. There are two things I can do: wait for the 2-day levels to lose their major 2-day levels, so the 2-day 21 EMA. If we lose the 2-day 21 EMA again, I'll get aggressive on my shorts again. All right. The next thing I can do is just wait for. You want to show them?
Yeah,
the
let's go and take a look at that 2-day 21 EMA. So where is that level relative to price currently? Oh, we're pretty much... When do we close this one? We close it in 2 days.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new 2-day candle, and so you're saying that if we close the 2-day candle...
Then I'll start getting aggressive again with my positions, right? But here's the thing, guys. Do not get stuck in that bear and bull mindset, right? You guys are seeing it in me right now, in that I am willing to switch from temporarily bearish or immediately bearish to immediately neutral and wait for things to develop again, or maybe even switch to bullish, right? You're seeing the transition happen. Don't be stubborn and be like, nope, I'm going to stay bearish. You can have a long-term bearish outlook, but as the charts start formulating and start changing on the lower time frames, don't short into support, right? Because 2-day 21 EMA is support. We have 2-day Kijun as well. We may get picked up over here. We may very well get picked up over here, and I don't want to have a big position against this. When I had all of these guys going in my favor, by all means, right? I've explained to you how I look at all of these support and resistances, right? Essentially, I look at these guys as the wall, all right? You can look at it as the Night's Watch major wall. and you want to have that wall on your side. You do not want to be the army attacking the wall. You want to have whatever probability booster on your side.
Yeah.
And if you are an army defending a massive fort, you want to be on that side of the wall, right? You want to be the army with the fort. You don't want to be the army attacking the fort. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Right. So now what's happened is the army that was attacking the fort has penetrated, right? Temporarily penetrated, right? And they have retaken the wall. They have taken the Night's Watch wall, right? They are in control of Troy, whatever you want to call it. So if they lose it again, by all means. But as things stand over here, it's too shaky. It's too shaky. They may lose it again, or they may hold it. And in that case, I want to switch sides. I'm a mercenary. I don't care if I fight for the Night King. I don't care. I just want to win.
It's crazy because, I mean, you're right in that there's a lot. It's not an obvious trade. Okay, there were no obvious trades to be had here because now, even though we broke, look at the amount of freaking support we're sitting up against.
Exactly.
Right? So, and do you feel like, whoever's been the market makers behind this, or if there are any sort of, pools that have come together?
Not market makers. You could call them market movers or
market
operators. Market makers is the wrong move.
Okay, so
wrong name.
What would you say? Do you think that they were using the entire narrative to their advantage? Now, this is the one thing that I spotted here. Okay, now yesterday something happened, and I'm just like, what? So everyone was looking at this symmetrical triangle, right? That was being played out on that 4-hour and 1-hour time frame, right? Now, I believe this right here, we had a good enough volume node to it. This marked the break.
Yeah.
But what followed was a, look at this green candle that followed. I'm just going to go ahead and clear the chart of all the other indicators. But look at that green candle. And it pretty much just stuck there in that range. Yeah. How many people do you think got out there?
Got out of their positions?
Yeah, because
short?
I mean, it's usually when there's a break.
How many people long there? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they probably thought that it was like a wick.
Because I know the old me would have been like, you know what, this is looking strong. The old me would have been finding excuses to be bullish. But I do want to talk about this right over here because one of the guys in Mango Grove, Conrad, he brought up a point where I don't remember exactly what he said, but it led to the discussion where I talked about how a lot of times trading is a very, very uncomfortable experience. Oh yeah, this is what he said. He said that if he had just stuck to his plan, if he tells other people what to do and they do what he tells them to do, they'll make more money than him. So what is he essentially saying there? That he doesn't follow his own advice. He doesn't follow his own trading plans, right? So the reason people don't do that is because they let the motions of the chart at the time affect them during the trade. Yeah. They don't stick to their own plan because they are a different person during the plan versus the person before the plan, right? And I talked to you about this a few years ago too. I said, Krisha, what you need to do is have two versions of Krisha, and you guys should do this too. Have two versions of yourself. One is the manager or the dictator of the trade, and the other guy is the executor. All right. So think of an employee and a manager relationship. All the employee has to do is listen to the goddamn manager, and if he doesn't, he's fired. All right. And if the employee listens and things go wrong anyways, well, he gets to blame the manager. He doesn't need to blame himself. Things went wrong. I just listened to my boss. So when you're putting on your trade, until the trade is done, you are just the employee. The manager is responsible for the trade, not you. So you just execute and stick to the execution. So when you plan your trade, you're the manager. You're the manager, and you tell the second version of yourself to just stick to execute on it, do nothing else, follow my rules, or you're fired, right? So that's your job. Just stick to the plan. And a lot of times it's going to be very uncomfortable. And I'm going to tell you guys, this trade over here that I took was very uncomfortable, and which is why I didn't have a big position. And that's one of the things I do for myself. When I'm not feeling uncomfortable, when I'm not feeling comfortable, I won't take a big position, right? It's kind of like when you're at the gym too, when you go onto the bench press, and sometimes the weights just feel heavier than usual, right? You're not feeling comfortable. What do? Do you just slap on the heaviest weights? No, you're gonna be like, you know what, today I'm gonna take, I hope at least you guys are doing this, by the way. If you're feeling weak, don't push hard at the gym, because you're going to get an injury like I did, and it's going to put you out for like a long time. So what I do is, in the gym, I'll lower my weights. And if I feel strong, if I realize, you know what, I'm feeling good about this, Krisha, slap on another plate, right? By the way, Krisha and I work out together, so she gets to put on my plates for me while I'm just like, flexing around.
He really does that though.
Oh man. It's so much fun. So much fun to have a nice little workout partner who can actually put the weights on for you. But hey, I do that for you too.
That's true.
But her weights are so tiny. No, she lifts heavy, guys. She lifts heavy enough that guys at the gym actually feel shitty about themselves and they move away because she puts them.
No, they try and go heavier.
Yeah, and then they just look stupid. But
But
going back to our conversation, right? Then only after realizing that, you know what, it's not as weak as I thought I'm feeling. I'm not as weak as I thought I'm feeling good about this now. I'll put on weights, right? I put on more weights because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to protect my body. Similar with the trade, you're trying to protect your account, but you still go to the goddamn gym, right? I was feeling weak, but I still put on that bench press, right? Yes, it was a low position, less weights, but I took the trade. Right? Then I felt better about it. I added to my plates. Similarly, now as this trade starts developing and starts looking better and better, I feel better about it, I can add to my trade. No reason to chase the markets, guys. No reason to chase a trade and FOMO. But what I did throughout this, I went off on a huge tangent. I was feeling very, very uncomfortable. Even yesterday, I listed it down for Conrad where I said, when I took on the trade, not feeling comfortable. Hey, finally we broke down. We hit my take profit, right? Again, I posted the trade setup for you guys as well. I don't often do that, but when I do, keep an eye on it so you guys get to see even how I fail in my trades. I lose all the time, man. I lose all the time, right? Traders do not only win trades. That's not real trading. You lose all the time. I lost this trade over here, right? 6,750-ish that I took a trade at. I took a loss there too. And going back to what I was saying, over here, not feeling comfortable at all, but I stuck to my plan to hit my first take profits, right? And then it bounced. I was expecting continuation. Again, uncomfortable. Should I just get out of this? Should I just exit the trade? I'm like, no, stick to the plan. If you are invalidated or you get stopped out, that's when you exit.
So I'll say that it's going to get uncomfortable.
It's going to get uncomfortable.
Okay, this is not a very comfortable game to be in. But what I think you hit the nail, on the head when your advice was very, very good in that try and kind of split yourself up into just two people.
Manager and employee.
One has to be the manager, one has to be the employee. The manager needs to be objective.
Yep.
Right? And then you let that manager in you formulate that plan.
And you execute.
And the employee executes it.
And then
don't question it. Don't question. It's so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at these markets right now. They're so freaking choppy.
Each candle is an emotional experience. So
if you let the employee take over, chances are you're going to be kicked out of your trade. Okay, don't question the objective side of yourself.
Yeah.
Essentially is what the lesson is over here, because more often than not, you're likely going to regret it. Okay, you wish you kind of stuck to your system, and also your system, people can quantify that, right? When you stick to your system.
Exactly. You get to quantify. That's so key.
You get to record and be like, okay, I followed it this time and it worked great. I followed it this time, but it didn't work. Shit. Yeah. But you can kind of gauge a success rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And that's really important. It's not about winning each trade. And I say this all the time, but really drill that into your heads. It's about winning them over a period of freaking 20, 50, 100 trades. Then you can be like, okay, I lose 4 out of every 10 trades, but it's fine. I'm making money, right?
So let's give them a little bit of TA here. So you said that if this, goes in the direction that you want it to go, as in it's doing so right now, you would consider adding to your trade.
Yeah.
Right? So what level would you be looking at to actually add to the trade?
So taking out this wick over here at 7,073 was really, really important. You could literally look for a lower high right over here, somewhere around here, if you want to be aggressive on the 4-hour time frame and then add to your trade. But let's look at the daily. I think that's the better way to be playing this. And how is this looking to you guys, by the way? Not looking good at all, right? And again, this is another conversation that we had I want to divert a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to be going all over the place today, guys. Apologies. Another conversation that we had in today's pre-gaming session over a voice call where we were looking at CMEs and I was thinking, hey, if I was I was closing out if I was ending my week, okay, I was actually no, I don't want to talk about this. Is going to go off on a major tangent, so let's not talk about that. let's just go back to what you're talking about in terms of the daily time frame and where I would be looking to add to my trade. So
the daily and the 12-hour. I want to know because we close the 12-hour actually not too long from now. We close it in about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So, give them some insight on the levels that you're looking at for both those closes.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the daily first, let's look at that, okay? And you're looking at essentially these wicks over here as long as we are holding perhaps, if you're looking at 7,081 as a higher low, which I don't think you should be looking at. I think you should be looking at somewhere around here, around 6,600. As long as we are holding one of those lows, depending on your thesis, again, all depends on your thesis, guys. As long as we're holding one of those lows, we are still in an uptrend, okay? But if you're looking at this guy, we've just lost the uptrend, right? Then you can be like, okay, you know what? On a retest of the Kijun, okay, I am going to take a position towards the downside, okay? Because you don't be shorting into daily 21 EMA.
No.
If you're playing the daily time frame, you have daily 21 EMA over here, but yes, you've lost the Kijun. And if you're looking at this wick right over here as a major wick, this higher low at 7,081, then hey, maybe you can short into 7,184. If you want to be safe, however, you're looking at this level, right? So essentially, you're looking for price to come down, wick onto the 10 kin. Then you can look for a trade at around 7,103. At that point, you're probably thinking, but Sean, like,
that's a huge
move, right? All the way down here, I'll miss so much of the price by then. Yes, miss it then, because that's fine. Bitcoin very rarely just has these kind of candles. Everybody's looking to not miss this kind of candle, which is fair, I guess, but you're going to have a lot of frustration doing that. Let's think back to right over here. When we lost the daily uptrend, what happened? Well, we had a move towards the upside. You got a chance to short 10,000. Then we had a bounce over here too. We got a chance to short 9,200. The daily uptrend had lost itself well in advance, and you got a good move anyways. You lost the day 20 EMA. You lost the wick over here at around 9,362. There's no reason to be impatient. And then what? You got a retest of the day 21 EMA, and then a major move, right? Retest, all happened around your birthday too. Krisha got a massive birthday gift with these markets.
It's going to be a very memorable birthday for Sean, at least. Okay, so this is what's happening on Bitcoin USD. Okay, so do you think? Let's actually look at the 12-hour. Like I said, we closed that in about 4.5 hours. So is there any level that you're looking at, for price to close under or above in order to anticipate the next move? Like, I was actually looking at the cloud personally. I said that, okay, if we close inside the cloud, I was going to be expecting like an edge to edge maybe. But that was my level. Is there anything that you're looking at to see further continuation? Or to see maybe a fake out and we go up from here too?
Well, we can essentially mark out these guys over here. The fact that we took out this wick over here, so this 12 hour is not looking good either. The 12 hour is looking actually pretty bad. Like, it has support over here with EMAs and SMAs, but this is, okay, the 12 hour can redeem itself if it closes above the 10 SMA. That's what I'd be looking for it to do, closing above the 10 SMA. But it's not, this is by no means like a death sentence for Bitcoin. It could definitely redeem itself over here. But the lower you dig into the time frames, the story begins to show itself. Now, this is what I'm seeing. On the high time frames, the high time frames, okay, we have monthly resistance and weekly resistance. On the lower time frames, we are breaking trend. We've broken the 1 hour uptrend. We've broken the 4 hour uptrend. Those are both looking weak. All that's going for Bitcoin right now is in the middle, that zone over there, where you tend to draw on trend traders, right? Where you tend to draw on traders like me, where we find reasons to be bullish on Bitcoin. But this has the characteristics of putting in that ascending triangle that broke to the upside. Everybody expecting continuation to the 8,000 level, right? Because daily 200 moving average was a nice vacuum area there too, magnet area there too, apologies. But what happens, you break back in and then target the Kijun over here instead.
Okay, so those are Sean's levels. Now another one.
If you do remember, apologies, we did talk about this, right, on our last video where we talked about putting in an M-like formation, breaking back into the wedge, because I do think we had the wedge drawn something like that. Right, we talked about this exact M-like formation, distributing around the wedge.
And this, I think, was also, you could also look at this as an M-like formation. Now, a couple of guys actually caught the M-like formation. I did not see it. One was Sean Nevins. I think he mentioned it
Yes.
yesterday. So shout out to Sean. I think that was a good
And
that was a good
Lathav.
spot. And yeah,
Lathav,
Lathav.
yeah.
So good freaking spot on that pattern, guys. Really good job
Yeah,
there.
Lathav is really improving too as a trader. I can tell. The biggest thing, man, that I'm noticing about you is your patience compared to when you started to now. You're a lot more patient, and look, he talked about exactly this play 6,900.
That's awesome.
So it's so good to see that progress ever since you've joined the seed program, man. It's really, really nice. So congratulations on your progress so far, and good stuff, man. Proud of you.
Good job, man. Good job.
Everybody lately at the seed have been doing so well.
They've been killing it.
Everybody
Like
made
we've
so
had so
much.
many guys freaking making 10K, 12K. It was insane. But yeah, good job, man. Guys in the seed.
And
All Sean's teachings.
No, it's not just me. It's you and Trader Fraser as well. So Ashok made a comment, and again shout out to Ashok too. Ashok made a comment in the seed program the other day, and that really made me smile. It was heartfelt because he said, "This everybody has been killing it in here. This must be a really, really proud moment for Sean, Krisha, and Fraser." And that is so true. That is so true, because when we set out to start the seed program and Mango to the Grove, it was all about making you guys better traders, profiting, not going through the same frustrations that we did. You remember how much
It was
guys,
insane,
whatever
guys.
pain you're feeling right now and you think that you're a bad trader, understand that we all went through it, and I probably went through more of it, way more of it, because I was exposed to a lot of bad advice, man, a lot of bad advice, and that's what this entire channel is about. Just making sure you guys don't go through that same frustration. You guys all grow with us.
Yeah,
And
and it's grow with us. So it's about the community as well, quite honestly. It's also about having a support system. When you have those freaking shitty trades, you just want to bounce it off of someone. If you're uncertain about something, if you're like, should I be taking this, should I not, and you want some good advice, it's Mango Seed is about that.
Yep.
A lot of people, they're so, they love the community. I love the community, hell. But okay, getting back to the charts. Now that was a tangent. So a lot of people, guys, are interested in Link. Now the response I have gotten on Link was freaking insane. So Link USD. Let's go to Link USD.
Such a gorgeous chart to trade.
I mean, just look at this. It's just like.
So I drew these horizontals for you guys. What, like weeks ago? Look at how we traded off it. Broke to the upside, retested this blue zone. What do we say, guys? What have we been saying for the freaking past weeks now? This blue zone is going to be very, very important, okay? All you have to do to take the easy trade, to take the Mango trade, wait for the break of this, got the retest. Go back to the previous videos. I've not changed anything at all. All these horizontals.
Tell them the numbers there. So what marks the top of that?
The top of the blue zone is $2.60.
Okay.
And the next major zone was this blue territory right over here, right? And what do? We go and retest pretty much the top of the blue territory as well, close underneath the top and the bottom of the blue territory, and see a rejection. And by the way, Krisha, remember how I was talking about the clues?
Yeah.
This was the third clue, okay? Because Bitcoin was doing nothing, while Link and a lot of other coins too were making their moves to their major levels and testing their, because Bitcoin had tested its major level. Ethereum had not. Link had not yet. And what happens? Bitcoin starts stalling. Yes, it makes a few trudges up, but it was barely anything compared to what Ethereum was doing. And then Ethereum made its move, and Link had not done it yet, right? Then Link does it too.
Yeah.
Right? Now Link, when it did it, broke, gave you the perfect retest, and we talked about that too.
This was perfect, guys.
And
this was freaking perfect. Like anyone who caught, and that was on the 4 hour, I believe.
That's a 25% move, right? And what do we talk about? You're better off waiting for that confirmation, taking the sure trade, and increasing your leverage if you have to, or increasing your position size if you have to, and getting more out of the percent rather than taking. What people like to do is like, I want to catch the bottom. I want to catch the bottom so I can tell everybody that, hey, I caught the bottom and I sold over here, right? But don't think like that, guys. You're better off having a more confident trade where you can put on a position that means something, and then taking that move and getting out.
Yeah.
Versus trying to take a very, very flimsy position somewhere around here. I mean, it could have worked out for you if you had the guts to take a nice big position. It would have worked, right? As long as your TA supports it.
Yeah.
Don't take it on a wish and a hope, though.
Yeah.
Right? And this was a really, really nice, easy trade, right? And Tommy caught this one.
Yeah. So
Good job, Tommy. Good job.
So the thing is that right now, the markets, we have charts actually getting up to some of their major levels. A lot of them, even traditional markets, have been freaking pumping. And these are not small moves to the upside, guys. These are big, major freaking moves to the upside. Now, it's confusing, right? You see this entire move with charts. Everything is pumping. You're seeing it on the news and stuff. However, when you go outside, like when we go outside, I can't help but be bearish. I don't know about you guys. Tell me what you guys are experiencing in your home countries. But every time I walk outside to get those groceries and stuff, I'm just like, people are struggling. Don't tell me that spouses and stuff, they're going home, be like, honey, I lost my job. Let's buy some Bitcoin.
Doesn't make sense.
Let's go and invest in the S&P.
Doesn't make sense.
Like, it's baffling. So, there's so much going on. And I think, to really, so there was a tweet that I believe Trader Fraser posted today on the Mango Seed program that kind of really sums this up, okay? And it's this one right here. Allow me to just pull it up.
It's this one right here.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Now, just look at this picture, okay? The headline there on his screen is the Dow's best week since 1938. And do you want to read this out? What is the tag here? Breaking news.
More than 16 million Americans have lost their jobs in 3 weeks. So this is and this guy says it really well. I don't know who this guy is. By the way, this is Justin Horwitz, maybe someone important.
But that's Jim Cramer.
Yeah, I know Jim Cramer. Thank you, Krisha. But look at what he says. Everything that is wrong with America in one image. Right? That's so true. So true. But is it? Right? Is it? Because in a way, we have to start asking questions that can improve our future performance as traders as well, as investors. So I've been getting a lot of questions too from people. Sean, what's going on? What's going on? Why is this happening? Why we are getting worse numbers? We're getting worse numbers, but market is moving up, right? How could that be? And this is one of the reasons why I always tell you guys, you need to separate fundamentals and the charts. You have to separate why? Because a lot of the times markets are irrational, markets are too optimistic, and number three, most important for this discussion, is that a lot of things are already priced in. Right? So this is one of the questions we were having even when we were talking to your parents, when we were talking about our investment strategies for our long-term portfolios in terms of traditional markets. The big question for us was, when we were at the bottom over there, is the worst of the worst news already priced in? Is the market already pricing in worse news than we will even get? Right? Maybe the market expected it to be way worse. Okay? Maybe that was already all priced in. And now what's happening is, one, we are seeing people be over-optimistic, and two, combined with value buyers coming in as well, saying, you know what, we don't care because we are buying a lot of these really, really, really good companies that are now 50% down compared to their highs, and we want to buy them for 10 years out. And three, the liquidity in the markets are very, very low compared to not even before the hit. I'm talking about from even last year. So after the hit, after the economic crisis as well, liquidity is even after the market crash, the liquidity is even thinner. Yeah. So what does that mean? Yeah. The people who are coming in to buy, the value buyers from these big macro funds who have been waiting for freaking almost a decade to finally get a value buy, because these guys have been not seeing value opportunity at all. Everything was overpriced. Now they're like, hey, finally we have value buying, right? So they are going to jump in, because value investors, the true value investors, are not looking for price to go up immediately. They just want to get a value buy, and if price goes down, they don't care. Now that they're getting the opportunity, they are going to make that cash work. Yeah. But the order books are thinner than they ever were. So price is going to move up really, really, really fast. And the combination of optimism and value buyers coming in will make we'll see these crazy bear rallies. That's what I mean, bear market rallies. That's what people don't understand, that bear markets can have massive rallies. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. I want to show you guys this. Let's not forget that what happened over here.
Yeah.
This was huge. We bottom recovery, guys. We're going all the way to the top.
That was 50%, right?
probably more.
I think that was 50%. That was a 50% pump.
No,
guys.
that was 100% pump.
Oh shit!
That was 100% pump. Think about that. Just think about that, right? It doesn't mean, and this was around the time that even traditional markets went into a mini down move. Traditional markets have, by the way, been in a massive bull market forever, and in a way, again, shows people's irrationality. They get conditioned in thinking markets can only go up, markets can only go up, markets can only go up.
That's some nerve, eh? Looking at Bitcoin, be like, see guys, that's a bubble.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? So, yeah, okay, so getting back on topic. So you said that, people are starting to price things in, like this entire this dump that we had. How much of what's happening right now do you think has been priced in?
Here's the I don't want to say stupidest thing, but again, we are living in a time where we are having a combination of market rationality, market optimism, and we're also seeing value buying because there are value buys out there, right? So together, we are seeing a massive rally. However, how can you really price a situation like this in? We do not know what's around the corner. Look at every other bear market, guys. We had the major crash and then something else shows up to cause continuation.
So do you think that there are going to be these, because of what's happening right now, okay, and because the situation is escalating in various countries all over the world, okay, not just with COVID, but also with the downturn in the economy, it's kind of revealing a lot of nonsense that's been going on behind the scenes. Now, do you think that these edge cases that start popping up could be...
You can't price that in. You don't know what could come to cause a prolonged bear market. Okay, what if there's a war scenario, right? What if USA attacks Iran for real? That could happen towards the end. There's so much going on, by the way, that is being hidden with this entire COVID narrative. I mean, I don't call it a narrative because it sounds like I'm trivializing it, but with this COVID epidemic, with this crisis, there's so much being hidden. And how do you price in things getting worse? And people think that maybe the worst has already happened. But I'd rather as an investor wait to see things actually taper rather than play into massive volatility right now.
Okay, so speaking about things getting worse, what I wanted to kind of move on to next was actually, we were actually talking...
buying back everything.
Yes, Fed was buying back, they're pretty much buying back everything. Okay, everything that
Bailouts.
they can freaking... So many bailouts everywhere.
Yeah.
And on that note, there was actually a video that I saw on Twitter today that I kind of want to bring up. And I want you guys to watch this. This is going to be a very important one. And it's not long, okay? It's just a small 2-minute clip. And it's very interesting. It's very entertaining. So let's actually pan on over to that. Okay, and I'm just going to, I'm going to full screen it.
Companies, are you arguing to let airlines, for example, fail?
Yes.
Why? I mean, how does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Because when you look at what it means, this is why I'm saying, like, this is a lie that's been purported by Wall Street. When a company fails, it does not fire their employees. It goes through a packaged bankruptcy, right? If anything, what happens is the people who have the pensions inside those companies, the employees of these companies, end up owning more of the company. The people that get wiped out are the speculators that own the unsecured tranches of debt or the folks that own the equity. And by the way, those are the rules of the game. That's right, because these are the people that purport to be the most sophisticated investors in the world. They deserve to get wiped out. But the employees don't get wiped out. The pensions don't typically get wiped out.
Why does anybody, I just don't understand, why does anybody deserve, using your word, to get wiped out from a crisis created like this? How does anybody deserve to get wiped out?
Well, but just be clear, like, who are we talking about? We're talking about a hedge fund that serves a bunch of billionaire family offices? Who cares? Let them get wiped out. Who cares? They don't get the summer in the Hamptons? Who cares?
Exactly.
I mean,
you don't think the
employees of these companies own stocks? I mean, own their stocks, own the company's stocks?
You can look on Bloomberg and you can see what percentage of these companies are typically owned by. These things are owned by BlackRock, these things are owned by these huge, amorphous organizations, ultimately downstream, and the employee owns a few $100s or a few thousand dollars of shares.
Well, I just don't understand.
So
this is like a natural disaster. And why does anybody deserve to get wiped out? Wouldn't that be immoral in and of itself?
What?
No, because what's happening right now is what I'll tell you is
It's called the fishing
on Main Street today, people are getting wiped out. And right now, rich CEOs are not, boards that had horrible governance are not, hedge funds are not, people are. 6 million people just this week alone basically saying, holy mackerel, I don't know how I'm going to make my own expenses for the next few weeks, days, months. So it's happening today to individuals.
That is the key point. Just go back to our charts, I guess. So that's the key point that he mentioned there, right? Normal people are not getting bailouts. It seems like, they are getting bailouts. They're getting $2,000 in their account, $1,500 in their account. It's just a massive cover-up to actually bail out all these rich hedge funds, executives who should be the ones getting wiped out. What sense does it make to say, why should anyone else get wiped out? Like, oh my God, this actually angers me.
Yeah, it was. Why would you say that? Because trading in general,
anyone get wiped out by this? What are you talking about? There are people losing their homes, people losing their jobs. They're not going to get their jobs back, no matter how much they think that the employers are going to hire them. The employers are going to be strapped as well. They're going to things are going to be very slow in the beginning. Even the employers who are looking to hire their employees, it's going to be back. It's going to happen eventually, right?
Yeah.
While these guys are sitting in their freaking mansions. And here's what frustrates me. These are the guys taking the massive risk, and then when something like this happens and they're supposed to pay the price of that risk, what they want to do is defer the risk onto taxpayers. The bailout doesn't mean, guys, that, everybody's winning, don't worry, let's just give money out to everybody. What's happening is, it's coming out of your tax money. You are paying for their bailout. We are paying for their bailout. It is every time money is printed, you're getting taxed. And on top of that, you're going to get taxed anyways. It's not enough that corporations are paying almost nothing in taxes, but now they want bailouts, they want money printing, and then you get taxed again on top of that. So just think about how freaking ridiculous that is. Let's talk about these airlines who have done nothing to improve the goddamn flying experience over the freaking past 5-10 decades. I was absolutely stunned the other day when Krisha's parents were talking about buying Air Canada, and I looked at the charts and I'm like, holy crap, Air Canada has been in the bull market for 4 years, while its experience, every time I fly Air Canada, it's a shit experience.
Yeah.
Flying has just gotten worse and worse and worse over the past decade, but for some reason, their stocks have been going up and up and up and up. Gee, I wonder why. Could it possibly be because they're taking whatever profits they have and buying back their own stock instead of improving our experience? These guys have no freaking grounds to ask for bailouts. No freaking ground. Here's what someone is going to say in the comments, invariably. But what about all the jobs, Krisha? What about all the jobs that are going to be lost? Listen, if that's the narrative that's going to be pushed, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a massive loan, hire as many people as I can, right? And just keep increasing that over decades and decades. Just keep hiring people. So that way, when I take massive risk and I have to pay the price for it, I can be like, hey, but I've hired so many people. Do you want them to lose their jobs? No, bail me out. So essentially, what you get to do is hire as many people as you can, and they are your freaking risk mitigator. They are your shield against paying any losses, because the rest of the country has to pay the losses instead. Because you get to take all the risk and you get the reward. Here's the funny thing. You get to get the reward for the risk, but you do not get to actually pay any losses for the risk.
Yeah.
You get the reward, but you don't have to take the risk. Holy crap. It's genius.
The risk is coming to the citizens. So the issue of here right now is that the incentive game is messed up, right? People are getting incentivized to take on as much risk as possible because there's only upside. When shit goes to, the dogs, no one's on the line. No one's freaking neck is on the line over there. It's just us. It's just all of us taxpayers. So it's kind of, it sucks because there's a socialist game going on with, well, the corporations, right? That's for them, it's all like freaking socialism, and for us, it's capitalism.
So this is how the rich get richer and the poor get poor, because what's going to happen is with all this money printing, assets are going to just keep going up eventually, right? But the people who don't have assets are going to lose their buying power, because look at wages over the past decades as well. Wages have not gone up at all, and this is another thing that we've talked about already, but this is another thing that's part of the entire freaking scam. They'll keep wages down. Why? Because you become more affordable, your labor becomes more affordable, and they keep inflation up, and they want to get inflation higher and higher and higher because their assets go up in price while you remain cheap. So if you do not have assets, you keep losing. If you have assets, you get to win. That's the game being played here. Savers keep getting punished. Each time money's printed, a saver gets taxed.
So I think it's important that you guys know that this whole game of printing money is not just with the Fed, okay?
It's with the world.
It's with the world right now. Regardless of which country you're in, chances are that your government is printing a lot of paper money, okay? So that's one thing to note. Now the question really is, inflation doesn't necessarily have to be a very bad thing. It depends on how they manage it. But the question is, now you are a part of it, okay? For all of those of you who are, well, 9-to-5ers, how many of you are going to go back to work and ask for a raise just based on inflation? Because let me tell you something, your dollar, the dollar in your pocket, whatever currency you have in your pocket, that just got, well, devalued, okay? That's able to buy less tomorrow than it can buy today. Okay, so now the question is, how many of you actually going to go out there and ask for that raise just simply based on inflation?
And you know what your boss is going to tell you? Your boss is going to say, with the current market conditions, things are down right now. We can't really give raises, and you're going to buy that. You're going to buy that. You're like, yeah, she's right or he's right, and all the while, assets are going to go up in price. Yeah. Okay, look at 2008 financial crisis. Okay, it started the biggest bull market the world has ever seen in stocks.
Yeah. And everyone was simultaneously complaining about just wages. Not being, too well off. So if you're not too well off, and he's not too well off, and she's not too well off, who the hell is pumping the goddamn stock market right now, right? So there was all of these factors that it was almost like a tip off.
Yep. So this is why, guys, I'm so long-term bullish on Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin was created. This is why Bitcoin was created. All right, man. I could go on and on.
Yeah. So Sean feels. But what do you think? So now that the Fed is buying all of these things together, so as in like they're just not investing.
They're buying everything now. They're buying
everything. Even the junk bonds. They're buying everything right now. What do you think are? What are the ramifications? What are the consequences on just price action? Bitcoin and even traditional markets, and what does that mean?
I think Bitcoin is going to have a really good time in at least, I know you guys probably want to hear 5 months, but I'm not saying 5 months. I'm saying 5 years. Okay, you just have to be patient with Bitcoin, man. You have to be patient. This is it's all unfolding. This is, by the way, the first time Bitcoin is seeing a financial crash. Okay, the first time we are seeing Bitcoin in the same environment as a market crash, because 2008 Bitcoin did not exist. Bitcoin is a consequence of 2008. All right, go and read my article on mangoresearch.co. Underneath articles, you guys will find where I explain the basics of blockchain, and it starts with me talking about that. So it's a really, if you guys enjoy how I explain the charts, you guys are going to enjoy how I explain the fundamentals of blockchain, etc. too.
It's really good, guys. I highly recommend it. I'm going to link it below, and guys, it's broken down very simply. Okay, he's done a very good job. He's put it. It's like a storybook. Okay, think of that, and you will be able to understand it. Even if you have a 5-year-old at home. Yep. Even your 5-year-old will be able to understand it.
I use very simple analogies. Yeah. It's for everyone to understand. Like, my mom read it and she was like, wow, she understood it too, and she has no technical background at all. So this is the time, guys, if you guys are at home, catch up on your readings, man. Don't stare at the charts. In fact, you know what, Kusha? Put a link down for Scribd too.
Okay.
So this is one of my most kept secrets, but and the reason I kept it as a secret because it seemed scribbled. We're going to put a link down because it'll give you 2 months free if you use the link down below. And it gives you unlimited books, unlimited audiobooks, and I always thought they were too good to be true, and I didn't want too many people finding out about them because it's like, man, this deal is too good. And as a voracious reader, to me that is invaluable. If you guys can use, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh man, I really don't read, blah blah blah, but that could be your ticket to financial success, to financial freedom, everything, man. There's a book on there called Never Split the Difference that I recommend the seed guys to read as well. And I read that book a year ago on Scribd. It has a great audiobook on there as well as the actual ebook if you guys prefer reading. I used to negotiate our real estate deals from a few months ago. And each of those deals, we probably saved $20,000 to $30,000 each just because of that one book I read. I don't want to make it out to be that simple. I've read a couple other negotiating books as well, but these skills, guys, this is the time you pick up the skills. Don't sit at home and waste this time. Read, pick up knowledge, okay? This is the time you, even if it's trading, right? This is the time you invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, because you have right now, guys, you have the combination of time and money, because if you're in America or Canada at the very least, any of these two countries, we are getting bailouts as citizens too, right? Again, 2,000 to 1,500 for Americans, I believe, into your paychecks, into your mailboxes, bank accounts. Use the time and the money combination to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, because soon everything's going to go up in price, and you guys won't be able to afford anything, right? And that's scary. So invest in skills now that you won't, that will allow you to keep up with the markets later. So I invested in myself like freaking 4.5 years ago. I didn't predict a crash like this, but I knew things were bad. I was telling her parents, I was telling everybody, I was telling my friends, wages aren't keeping up. We are getting screwed. You guys think I have a $100,000 job and it's great, but it's not. I should be getting paid more for my skills, for my efforts, all of that. And I left all of that. Why? Because I wanted to invest in myself to be able to put in the time and effort so that one day I can just pay myself how much I want to. And now, while everybody is sitting waiting for the employers to employ them back, what do? What am I doing instead? I'm profiting regardless. I'm not relying on anyone to give me money.
There's one thing that you guys have right now that we didn't back then. We had to give up a lot to buy one thing, and that was time.
Yeah.
You do not have to do that. You all can be sitting at home. You are probably earning, okay, either from, social services, or you have your jobs, you're working from home. But what you have right now is time.
Yeah, so use it wisely, guys.
We did not have that. We had to give up a lot. Okay, so right now, guys, like he said, use that time wisely. Start investing in yourself. Basically, whatever the hell it is that you want to learn, now is the time to pick that up. Okay?
Yep.
And that's going to wrap up our session for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.